Hi, I'm Brian. I'm an old Canadian guy, and today I'm going to test my knowledge to see how well I actually know Canada. Now, lately on the internet, I've been seeing this fella, Tyler Bucket. He has a series of videos where he explores things Canadian. He says he's an ordinary American guy just trying to learn about Canada. Well, uh, about just over a week ago, he did this quiz down here. It's American Test His Knowledge. So while I have watched some of his videos, not all of them, I specifically did not watch this video because I didn't want to have seen the test before. I did watch the first question because he did not list the test in his description. And when I went to record this video, I was hoping it was there and I couldn't find it, so I watched it so I could make sure that I was looking at the right quiz, so that we're doing the same quiz. How I'm going to do this is I'm going to let him get to the question. I'll try to stop it if I'm quick on the draw. As soon as he says the question, I'll go and I'll answer it while I have him paused, then let him go through and lock in my answer. I'll let him do his own reasoning of how he arrived at his answer. Having watched his videos, I know he's learned some things about Canada. I don't know what this quiz entails. It depends. I'm pretty confident. I think he'll do well because I think he has learned a broad number of things. He's done a number of videos talking about geography. He's done attractions in different cities, which might help him. How well do I think he'll do? There's 30 questions. I think he'll get maybe 25 of them right. Depends how easy it is. My goal is to get everyone right, and hopefully I will. Depends. If it delves into more pop culture, I might struggle a little, but let's see. I'm going to keep score. I'm going to have a Canadian flag here for me and a U.S. flag. Well, it's actually shaped like the country without Alaska or Hawaii. They're missing. So this must have been 1948 before they became states.
What's going on, everyone? I'm just a typical, average American here today to take a Canadian quiz. A quiz about Canada. Not some kind of random Canadian math exam or something. Not some kind of math test.
I'm glad it's not math.
Canada. No.
Yeah,
this is a quiz about Canada, which has me a little on edge, if you will. A little, I'm wondering, I've learned more and more about Canada doing all these Canadian reactions. I feel like I know a thing or two, certainly. Goodness knows a lot more than I knew only 1 or 2 months ago. But, I mean, this is I don't even know what this quiz is going to be about. I just Googled Canadian quiz. We got the quiz here. 30 questions, multiple choice. It's got me a little nervous. I don't know. I don't know if these are things I just randomly, I YouTubed all the answers to this quiz, and it's going to be the perfect little scenario, perfect turn of events, but I doubt it. So let's take a look. Let's go. There's nothing left to do but to do it. Canada quiz. What do you know about Canada? Canada's birthday is on.
Okay, so this one is, I'm going to lock in my answer like I said I would, July 1st, 1867. That's the actual day Canada was born or became a nation. It used to be called Dominion Day. It was later changed to Canada Day. It's when we have our big celebrations, fireworks, etc. here in Canada. It's July 1st, as you can see. I got it right, so let's lock in my score at 100. My feeling is he should know this.
Canada's birthday? Like the day Canada was founded? Canada? Oh, jeez. Oh, man. It's not good in the very first question to already start flipping the coin, but, oh, we have July for everything? It's not going to be 4th of July like America. July 10th. No, I'm glad it lets you keep going.
Okay, so he got that one wrong. So I thought he would get that. Maybe not. Maybe that's something that just wasn't covered. I don't know. Let's go on here. And so he's at 0. I'm at 100.
I don't have one life and then I die, or this video would be over. July 1st? Okay. July 1st. I'll try to remember that. The population of Canada is in 2015 was almost this.
This I know because going most of my young life, Canada was under 30 million. We haven't gotten the 40 million yet. Looking at the answers that he has on his screen and I now have on mine, it's 36. That's my logic. I wouldn't be able to tell you if it's like 37, 35. That just sounds right because I know I'm pretty sure we didn't reach 40 million yet. I haven't heard of it. And Canadians, I think we know. I would have heard of it. Yeah. So that says I'm right. I'm still at 100%. Let's go and see. So if he gets this one, he should be at 50%.
I'm more familiar with, because I feel like I roughly remember, I thought Canada was like a tenth the population of the United States. That's how I remembered it.
Yeah, that's right.
So 36
roughly.
million? Come on! Sir, I'm up to 75%.
Wait.
We're doing good.
Wait.
Here we go.
How's he at 75? Okay. I don't get their scoring system. I have him at 50. But I don't know. I guess if they say 75, their math is wrong. Good thing it's not a math test because those people would have been off. At least from what I can tell. Unless they're using some other weighted system maybe. Let's go on to the next question.
Okay, the capital city of Canada is...
Okay, I'm going to say he knows this one. It is Ottawa. I think he knows that one because I remember in his early videos he had been confused and he was thinking Toronto or Quebec. Not Quebec City, but Quebec. He thought it. He said those were the only two cities he knew of. But I believe he did learn that it was Ottawa. Interestingly, actually, I think he actually did a video on interesting things to see in the Ottawa area. Maybe facts about Ottawa. Ottawa was the only capital we've had since Canada's been a country. When Canada was still, before it was formed, there was Upper Canada, Lower Canada, or it was Canada East, Canada West, as they were called through different points. Now Quebec, Ontario. They actually had a government together known as the Colony of Canada. For a time, their capital alternated depending on the year and the season. They would either meet in Kingston, Ontario, or in Montreal. Before Canada was even founded, Queen Victoria had appointed Bytown, which is Ottawa. It was just a little tiny lumber town. She had appointed that to be the capital of the colony of Canada, and it is what continued to be the capital. When Confederation happened and the original 4 provinces joined, Ottawa was selected as the capital, and it's still the capital to this day.
Okay. This one would have gotten me not too long ago. It may still get me right now. But, they're being generous here. Because if they threw in a couple of more provinces, just random provinces, I wouldn't even know the difference between those and a city, and it would be very embarrassing. But... the new me knows that it's Ottawa. Okay, I was going all in on that one. If I had said that and it was wrong, I was going to turn off the video.
Okay, so I just noticed I can't actually read his percentage there, so I'm not going to update his until he actually says what it is. By my inkling, he should be at 66% because he's gotten 2 out of 3 questions. 67, I guess, if you round it up. But let's see, and let's go on to the next question.
I was going to burn this video if I did that. Put a check beside each of Canada's official languages. Is this a trick question?
Okay. So this is interesting. Canada is an officially bilingual country. In fact, Canada, unlike the United States, does have an official language. We have two, English and French. On this list, they have two languages of our Indigenous people, different Indigenous people groups. They're not official languages, but the Canadian government actually does strive to service people in the communities and Indigenous communities in the language of their tribe. So yeah, Canada does only have the two official languages. We do try to, like I said, serve Indigenous languages where possible. I know from personal experience in 1992, there was a referendum for the Charlottetown Accord. It was a constitutional amendment, went to a referendum, and in that, that year I was a district returning officer in a district in Halifax, Nova Scotia, and we, as district returning officers, were provided a little booklet that the actual wording of the question in every Indigenous language, in case somebody from one of those that spoke one of those languages wanted to have the question or be able to read the question in their own language. They also provided Braille for that question as well, along with the ballot being in both English and French. Let's see if he gets this. I think he will. I know, if I remember some of his early videos, he was kind of struck that there was so much French in Canada, and there's really not. In fact, we only have one bilingual province, that's New Brunswick, where it's officially English and French. All the other provinces are unilingual. Quebec is unilingual. French is the official language in the province of Quebec. And all the other provinces, the other 8, would be English as the official language of government in those provinces. In areas such as, there's different areas in Atlantic Canada and the Maritimes where there's French populations, in Nova Scotia and Prince Edward Island, where the provincial governments would attempt to provide services in that language for people, but it's not a requirement, it's not law, whereas New Brunswick is, they have to make sure the services are provided in both. So let's see if he gets this.
Certainly English, but I know French. Does Canada have a national official languages?
Yes, I said that.
Because I feel like the national language is English, but in Quebec it is French, and maybe English too. I just have to put French. I feel like I'm going to overthink it. Whoever created this quiz. Did a Canadian create this quiz? That's important as well.
I think it is.
The mindset of
by the University of Victoria, so I'm assuming it's
that's way too
Canadian.
English and French. I knew they'd do that. Is French an official language of Canada? In all of Canada? Every province and territory? According to this, it is. Okay. Moving on. The largest city in Canada. Toronto. Yes. Okay.
Yeah, I knew he got that.
Yes. I think this momentum is carrying me. I feel like I've gotten the last 4 correct. Luckily these questions have really been kind of up my alley. Kind of what I've been inadvertently studying, you know? This is working out.
I don't know if it's so much that it's what he's been studying. Honestly, they're pretty simple.
Maybe this was meant to be. Canada has blank provinces.
10. The answer is 10. We have 10 provinces, 3 territories. Provinces going from west to east, we would have British Columbia, Alberta, Saskatchewan, Manitoba, Ontario, Quebec, New Brunswick, and this is where you can kind of be New Brunswick and Newfoundland, Labrador, kind of the next ones. They're both attached to Quebec. Then we'd have Prince Edward Island and Nova Scotia. That would be your 10 provinces. Your 3 territories going from east to west would be Nunavut, Northwest Territories, and the Yukon Territories. Let's see if he gets that.
10.
Yeah.
10. 10 provinces and 3 territories. I might have said 15 once upon a time. I may have even said 20 once upon a time. I used to have literally zero picture in my mind of how Canada was divided. I had nothing. It might as well have been one big lump of Canada, if you will. But now I know 10. All right, 91%. Keep it going. Put a check beside.
Wait, did he say 91%? So let's update his score to 91. Oh, there's a damn fly in here. I hate flies. It's Canada. We shouldn't have flies. It's supposed to be too cold here. So let's update his score to 91%. And let's keep going. So the next question, I see it up on the screen there, is put a checkbox between each of Canada's 3 territories. So Queensland is not a territory of Canada. It is a state in Australia. See, you're learning not just about Canada here. But there is a beautiful beach in Nova Scotia called Queensland. In grade 12, I lived fairly close to there because I moved for grade 12. And between grade 12 and my first year of university, I took a course. It was a great books course. It was pretty much the only thing, the course that the people that took. It was worth 4 out of your 5 credits. And so we had a summer reading to help us get started. So I would spend my summers after work. I go to Queensland Beach, not every day, but a lot of them, and go read Dante and Plato on the beach of Queensland. Yes, I'm that kind of nerd that would bring Dante or Plato to a beach. It was nice breeze. The water was nice. And yeah, I'm that kind of a nerd. So let's see if he gets this. I'm going to lock in my answers. It's Nunavut, Northwest Territories, and Yukon. I already told you that earlier. And of course, it's right.
Beside each of Canada's 3 territories. No. Why'd they do this? Certainly the Northwest Territories has territories in the name, and I happen to remember that one. I think Yukon is
good logic.
Just sounds right. Not too long ago, I reacted to a video about the territories and provinces. Really not that long ago. So I feel like if it's in my mind, if my mind is leaning towards something, I should lean into that. Queensland, I just don't remember a Queensland. I feel like I would have said some kind of snappy, quirky remark about Queensland. I would have tried to be clever about that. So, none of it? None of it? Well, I think
Okay, so he got that right.
that's correct, right? I mean, it doesn't really say that a big you got it correct, but I think it does. When you're wrong, it tells you you're wrong. Okay, so that was correct. Okay.
Okay, so he didn't update his score, so I can't tell you what he's got. I think I might have figured out the way they do this, because if you notice, it says I got 4 out of 4, even though it only shows 3, but that's the wrong answer. So I think as long as you're not choosing the wrong answer, so if you choose the right answers, you get a point for each right answer if it's a multiple, but you also get a point for each wrong answer if you don't choose it, and that's how they're calculating a percentage. That's the only thing that kind of makes sense based on where he's at, because we're going on to question 7, so he should have gotten 6 out of 7 questions done, so he should be at like 66. No, not even 66, a little higher than that, but higher than 66, whatever 6/7 are. Again, I'm not a math person. Remember we mentioned that. Anyways, let's go on to the next question. So this one, I'm going to answer before he even reads it. I live there. It's Prince Edward Island. It is. So let's see if that locks in. Yeah, it does. So let's see if he gets that. I don't know. I can't remember if when he learned things, if it was specifically mentioned that Prince Edward Island there. So we are the most densely populated province, though, even though we're the smallest. and we have the smallest population. We are the most densely populated.
The smallest province in Canada. Oh, well, it's probably one of the islands, right?
One of the islands. We only have one island province. Lots of islands in Canada, only one island province. Um, so, like, I hope he's not thinking Baffin Island's a province. Maybe, I don't know. I'm kind of confused.
Is Nova Scotia an island?
No.
Nova Scotia is on the east.
Yes.
So is Prince Edward Island.
Yes.
Prince Edward Island was pretty small, right?
It is.
Man, you don't believe the urge I have to use my normal crux and Google a map of Canada. That's what I would normally do in
Yeah,
this
but called
situation.
cheating.
I'd curl into a ball and Google Canada and figure it out. But not today. Today's quiz day. I'm not doing too bad. This is okay. Prince Edward Island, I think, was pretty small. Yes. 5 out. Oh, it says 5 out of 5. Yes, perfect.
Okay. So let's go to the next question. The only province in Canada which has a majority French speakers is Quebec. Montreal's not a province. Hopefully he remembers that.
The only province in Canada which has a majority of French speakers is, oh, get out of here, Quebec, get out of here. Bam. Move along. Too easy. Make it harder. Come on, I'm getting confident now. I'm getting cocky. Make this harder. The leader of Canada.
Okay. So let's go on to the next question there. The leader of Canada is known as. This is actually could be a trick question, but I'm gonna think what most people would think the answer is and what they've probably chosen. I'm gonna actually, if it winds up being what I think it's going to be, it's wrong. Because technically, the leader of Canada is the monarch. They're the head of state, the head of government, which I think what they're asking would be the prime minister. Interestingly enough, premier would also technically be correct because premier, that's what we refer to our leaders of government in our provinces. The leaders of the state in the province, or the representatives of the monarch, would be the lieutenant governors. And premier just means premier ministre. It's short for premier ministre, which is first minister or prime minister. France would have a premier ministre. I can't say it. I was born in Quebec, but I don't speak French. Not well enough, anyways. So yeah, but I think it's prime minister is what they're going for. So I'm going to lock in. Technically it could be king, and if you really wanted to have a stretch, you could say it's premier if you're French, maybe. But in Canada, we just generally say prime minister, and premier is just refers to the leader of provinces. So that is correct. That is what they're looking for. So let's see if he gets that.
Is known as the king. No, the prime minister. I just wanted you all to get a little nervous there. I'm on a streak right now. A combo. And I don't want a combo breaker here. Prime minister. Not president, premier, king. Prime minister. Yep. I'm getting up to 95%. I don't want to brag or anything. I still have 20 more to go. But let it be known that for a brief moment here, I had an A.
So 95%. Yeah, it's that the way it's calculating based on the numbers that I think is given it. So we're on to question number 11. And I really do want to say you shouldn't be bragging. Really, the stuff we're talking about are things that Canadians would have learned in grade 3 or grade 4. At least I know I did. I remember doing a province. I remember doing a project on the provinces in grade 4, we were broken down into groups of 2 or 3 people, and each of us had to do a presentation on the province. I was paired with a girl, and we chose Nova Scotia. I chose Nova Scotia, though I was living in Ontario at the time. I chose Nova Scotia because that's where both of my parents are from, and where I really consider my heritage from. So, going on to the next question. The current Prime Minister of Canada is. Now, this could have been a trick question depending on when this was actually created, this quiz. I'm assuming this quiz was created since 2015, since it mentioned 2015. And in 2015, Justin Trudeau took over from Stephen Harper. Justin Trudeau is the son of Pierre Trudeau, who was the Prime Minister of Canada from April of 1968 until June of 1984, except for, I think it was about approximately 9 months in 1978 until part of 79, or was it all 79 part of 80? Anyways, Joe Clark was the Prime Minister at that point. Interestingly enough, Pierre Trudeau was not popular in Western Canada, much like his son Justin Trudeau. He resigned or submitted his resignation as leader of the Liberal Party, and therefore announcing that once the Liberal Party found a successor, he'd be resigning as Prime Minister. On February 29th, 1984, a lot of people said that he chose February 29th being a leap year because that way people in Alberta could only celebrate his leaving every 4 years, and he wanted to continue to disappoint them. So yes, Justin Trudeau is the right answer, and yes.
95%. That first question, that was just an anomaly. That first question was nothing. Throw that away. Delete that. That did not set the tone. The current Prime Minister of Canada is Pierre Trudeau. Justin Trudeau. I was like, I know it's Trudeau. And I was about to click Pierre Trudeau. Is that his father? Or his uncle? Is it nobody? Wayne Gretzky? Isn't that a hockey player? Who do they think is taking this test? How dumb do they think I am?
Hey, listen, Canada could very well have a hockey player be Prime Minister. I mean, the United States had an actor, Ronald Reagan, be president. So why couldn't Canada have a hockey player? But yes, it's not Wayne Gretzky. I don't believe he ever ran for any office in Canada. Sure, political parties would love to have him just for name recognition.
Has Wayne Gretzky run for office, though? Maybe I'm being silly. Maybe he did win some election. Isn't he just a hockey player? I don't know who Stephen Harper is. Justin Trudeau. Yes, most Americans know that, actually. Not just me. The province...
Okay, so let's go on to the next question. And I see from looking at the screen where he's on, it's a question about Prince Edward Island, my home province. So let's see what this question is. The province of Prince Edward Island is famous for Anne of Green Gables, yes. Big potatoes, I don't know if I would say big, but we are famous for potatoes. It's our major cash crop. And beaches with red sand, yes. On the south shore of Prince Edward Island, there's beaches with red sand. They're beautiful. There's really beautiful white sand on the north shore, but I prefer the south shore. I'm very close to it. Our beaches are great on the south shore too. The way the jet stream goes, on the south shore we have the warmest temperatures north of Virginia. In the summer the water can be quite warm. In fact, give me a second. I'm going to just see about looking for a couple pictures.
A few minutes later.
Okay, let me just see. So I did find a couple pictures. I'm going to just put them up on the screen. I'm going to show you just how beautiful Shelton Beach is. This is one that I took this summer when I was there after supper. people that live just along the beach a little farther that have horses that occasionally take them for a ride. Sometimes even during the day they do. So I just happened to capture it that day I was out there. It's beautiful. You can see that's the Confederation Bridge there. Behind, you got a beautiful view of that. One that I got from a website, and it just shows the bridge a little clearer. When it's low tide on the South Shore, that is the thing. It is very shallow, and on this part of the South Shore, it's right across from New Brunswick, and often joke that when it's low tide, you could walk across to New Brunswick. It seems that way because you can go quite far out and still only be up to your knees. I'm going to say beaches, red sand as well, and there is a check mark for all the above. So I don't know. The way this scores, I think I need to check off that too. Maybe not. I don't know. Anyways, I'm going to do it. We'll see if it says I got them wrong and it is all above the above, then that will confirm for me for sure that's the way to scoring. Or if it lets me choose all of them and it still gives me 100%, then I know that's the way it's scoring as well. So let's go and see how he does. Come on, Tyler.
Of Prince Edward Island is famous for, oh no, this might be my Achilles heel. The sword that brings me down.
And see, I locked in my answers.
Edward Island is famous for Anne of Green Gables, big potatoes, beaches with red sand, all of the above, none of the above. No, why did they have to add all of the above and none of the above? Why do they have to do that, man? They do that. That's when the teacher's just trying to get to you. They put that. Man, big potatoes. The video I watched briefly went over Prince Edward Island and ranked it. I don't remember red sand. Or do I? I'm going to start convincing myself of stuff that... This could say that freaking one-eyed cows that are jumping rope on clouds could be there. And I could convince myself that that's correct. Just because I see it in this list. The more I gotta just go with my gut here, I think. Not big potatoes. Anne of Green Gables, did that have to do with the lighthouse? One of these had a lighthouse, I thought.
Yeah, that's the other thing that could be on there. Lighthouses.
Sand.
He is right.
I don't know why. This is gonna destroy me, this question. 3 out of 5 correct. 3 out of 5 correct. So 2 are wrong? 2 are wrong. I don't like how they put the answer there.
Yeah.
I'm just
I don't
gonna go
either.
with all of the above. 2 out of 5. And? Huh. Does that mean I'm just gonna have to 3 out of 5 correct? 4 out of 5 correct? Oh, come on. You had to... I don't like that.
Yeah.
I'm glad it didn't ruin my average. It just docked me 1 incorrect answer, even though I answered it like 12 times. I was wondering what it was about to do to me. So it was all of the above. You know, my gut thought A and C. I don't know. Big potatoes? I like potatoes.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to check that out. Big potato? How big are they?
Big as my head.
The first inhabitants of Canada.
Yeah, actually, the big as my head. I live potato fields surrounding me, and my wife and kids. Well, my wife still does, but with the kids when they were younger, used to go gleaning potatoes. At one time, they brought a potato in. So what they do is after the harvester's gone through, anything that harvesters didn't take because they can't sort it because it's an awkward size or shape, so it doesn't go in their grading machines. They sort of get left usually at the end of the track of the fields, each row, and she brought home this potato. It was as big as my head. I mean, and I have a big head. I'm known for my big head, and we joked as a family that it was time to carve the potato. Who was going to carve the potatoes? If it was being carved for Thanksgiving dinner or something. So like it was a turkey. It was that big. So yeah. So the next question I see up on the screen: who were the first inhabitants? Um, the first inhabitants were native people. It's the politically correct answer, and it is the correct answer. Um, if you were talked about the first settlers, you might say Vikings because Vikings were here, but and then it would be French, and then it would be English. Well, actually, I think English, then French, but English didn't really settle much at first. Anyways, it would be the native people, or we prefer to call them in Canada Indigenous peoples. That is the correct answer.
Were. Well? Wait, what do you mean native people? Wouldn't that technically be correct? Anywhere, if they are the natives, by definition,
Yeah.
they're native to that land. What? Do I just go for native people?
Yeah, you do.
Yeah. Okay. What? This was trying to...
Yeah, that was.
What was this question trying to do to me? That was a real logic test right there. Was that trying to... It has a native in the word. Okay, you know what? I feel like that was trying... That would have got someone smarter, but I played it so dumb and so
No, you played it
obvious
smart.
that it was actually correct. Okay. Very good. Canada was first colonized from Europe by the...
Okay. Again, this is not using settlers because there were Viking settlers. Or technically wouldn't be Vikings, they're Norsemen. But it would be Henry Hudson, I think, I want to say discovered Canada, or at least landed in Canada first. But I don't think there was actually real settlements here. I'm going to say French, because the French, Champlain really, I think, had the first settlements in Canada. I don't think there was English settlements before then. This one, I'm pretty sure of, unless it's wanting both, but I'm going to say French. And I'm going to lock it in and check and see what they say. So, yeah, that's right. It gave me 303, and there's that damn fly. I got him. Ooh, gross. Now he's on my hand. Anyways, yeah. So it is the French.
Colonized from Europe. I think English, right? As in British Empire? No. They came a couple hundred years before the British. Obviously, I know about French roots here. Please? Okay.
Yeah. So, I'm still at 100%. Let's see what he's at, if he's hopefully updates.
Starting to beg with the questions. I still have an 88%. In America, that's a B. I kind of forget in Canada if 88% is still an A. Could be.
I can't remember either, honestly.
Okay. The third most commonly spoken language in Canada is... Interesting. Not Chinese, not Italian, not Japanese. A native language, or Inuktitut? I would think that, some kind of...
Okay. So... Now, technically, Chinese is not a language. There's Mandarin, and then there's Cantonese, and actually there's all kinds of other, some people call them dialects, some people call them distinct languages that people would refer to as Chinese. Italian, Japanese, or native language. Or Inuktitut. Inuktitut, that's not it, because... that's the language of the indigenous people from the north, the Inuit, who are different, and actually have a different origin than the rest of the more southern natives. Again, like I said, they have different individual languages. A native language. I don't think any one of the native languages is So it's down to Italian or Japanese. I honestly thought it was German. In, oh, third. I'm going to say Italian just because Italians have been here for longer than Japanese, or at least in large quantities. Though post World War II, there has been and on the West Coast there was always large amounts of both Japanese and Chinese people. Yeah, I'm going to say Italian. If it's Chinese, then I really say it's wrong, and I won't count this question for either of us. It's just, it's not. It's got to be Italian. So I'm going to lock in. I'm going to hit check. And it says 3 out of 5. So let's see what it is. So it's Chinese. That gives me 97%. Oh. I still think I'm at 100% because Chinese is not technically a language. But let's go. I'm gonna adjust it here because we're going by their weird scoring system. You know. But I'm gonna say I still have it right because it was because they said Chinese. I didn't think I honestly thought Mandarin maybe. Yeah, I mean that's a language group as much as German, Dutch, Norwegian, Scandinavian, English for that matter, is Germanic languages. That's a language group, same as Chinese. So
A native language, right? The language of the Inuit.
yeah, I don't.
Formerly known as the Eskimos? Oh, I didn't know if Eskimos had to do with Canadian history. Ooh, goodness. This one's gonna get me. Ah, that's too bad. I just know it's probably not an Asian language, and probably not Italian. Inuktitut? Eskimos? Hey, probably a native language. No. Darn it, I had it checked off and everything. No! Oh, it's a multiple... What? How do I have 3 out of 5? What's going on? The third most commonly spoken language is... Does it want me to select more than one at a time? What's going on here? Why did it say I have 3 out of 5?
Yeah, it's the
Well,
weird
luckily, no
scoring
matter what I
system.
do now, I can't get deducted. I can't get penalized more, which is a very nice feature of this quiz because they kind of, I don't think I'm to blame here. It's a design flaw. Certainly not my fault for not knowing.
Okay, as you will see, here's one of those times Google Ads coming up. So I'll just edit that out here. So I skip that ad and let's pick it up.
2 out of 5. What? What if I check them all off? 1 out of 5. I'm so confused. Third most spoken language. Italian? Chinese? Chinese? Really?
Yeah, Chinese is not a language.
Really?
Yeah, really.
Fascinating. I would never have guessed that in a million years.
And it's wrong. It's not a
In
language.
a million years.
It's not a language.
I don't know
I'm
what the
arguing.
third most spoken language in America is after English and Spanish. Maybe it's Chinese. I don't know. There's a decent Chinese population in America.
Chinese
Maybe in
is not
Canada
a
too.
language.
Okay. Fine. I may have legitimately got that wrong. Canada is famous.
Okay, so he didn't update his score. We'll see what it is. I'm still holding that I have 100%. He got it wrong because he didn't even think it could possibly be. So I want to put an asterisk there. I want to put an asterisk beside my score. Because I'm putting an asterisk beside my score because it's really 100. Yeah, it should be 100. It should be 100%. I'm putting an asterisk by my score because it should be 100%. It's just wrong. Okay, so the next question. Canada is famous for Niagara Falls. Victoria Falls? No, not in Canada. Though we have a Victoria Yosemite Falls in the States. It's Niagara Falls. I'm going to hit check, and I'm going to say yes. It still has to be 97%, really at 100. I'm not going to let that go. I'm not.
Famous for... Well, I know now Niagara Falls is partly in Canada. I used to not know where it was and or think it was American. But it's definitely in Canada. Is this multiple choice as well? Oh, geez. No, I got it. Okay.
He doesn't get excited.
Whew. Check off the animals which are native to Canada.
Okay, so let's go to that one. That's an interesting one. So, Canada has moose. We have grizzly bears. We have polar bears. We don't have koala bears. We do have caribou. We don't have kangaroos or alligators or tigers. Cougars, known as mountain lions. Yes. No pythons. We have salmon, killer whales, leopards. No. Leopards are African. So, 13 out of 13. So it has me at 97%, though I'm still at 100%, because Chinese is not a language. Do I need to say that again? Let's see how Tyler does on this.
Come on, guys. Why are we putting A through M here? This is just cruel. You know what? That's a bad attitude to have. I can persevere. I can reason through this. Native to Canada. Moose. Yes. Grizzly bears. No, you're kidding me. We're putting different types of bears? No. Why? I feel like I was going to muscle my way through this. Grizzly bears. How am I going to... This is going to take forever to figure out once I get it wrong. I know there's bears. So grizzly bears. Caribou. I think... Not kangaroos, not alligators, not tigers. There might be mountain lions, if I remember. I did do one video where I reacted to kind of animal encounters in Canada. And that's relating to this. There weren't pythons. Salmon. There could be salmon. Killer whales? Maybe. Killer whales? Native to Canada? Maybe. Leopards? I'm going with this. 10 for 13. I don't know what that means. I just realized. What do they mean 10 out of 13? I feel like I got very close, though. Tigers? Nope, that made it worse. Okay, at least I can tell that. I think I'm missing 3 things here. Oh, geesh. Python, salmon, killer whales. I'm missing 2. Or I added 2 that shouldn't be there. Like that? Okay. I think that means good. Leopards? Nope, that made it worse. Oh, alligators? Nope, that made it worse. I gotta check where I'm at. 11 for 13. Polar bears? No. Polar bear? It is cold there. Polar bears. Dang it. Where did I think? I was thinking too much about the United States, where it'd be absurd to be a polar bear. Dang it. They got me again. Koala bears? Is that the secret? I think that was it. Oh, check. No. No. Not koala bears. There's no kangaroos. Get out of here. Okay, good. Not alligators. Leopards? I think I've skipped leopards. No. Salmon? Pythons? No. I'm 1 off. Oops. Salmon? Salmon. It was salmon. Okay. You know, if there are some Canadians out there who could have got this correct, kudos to you. Impressive. Because that was impossible.
No, it wasn't.
Man, that was,
you just had to think about it.
I don't know. The animal, which is a symbol of Canada.
Okay, so we're on that question. That's an easy one. Hopefully he doesn't miss it because it wasn't in the list of native animals, but it's beaver. It's not chicken. That would be kind of funny. I think there is actually a flag. I forget which country that has a chicken on it. And no, not Colonel's. It's not the Kentucky Fried Chicken. It's their flag, KFC. No. Okay, so it's the beaver. Canada's famous for our beavers. In fact, that was one of the things that was one of our first big export was beaver pelts. The French settlers that went west, the voyageurs, they hunted beaver for the beaver pelts, and they actually made hats. Not the hats that you'd think of necessarily, like the big warm winter hats, but their pelts actually were used to make like top hats and stuff. So, it's still saying 97% with that asterisk there, because it's actually really 100%. Oh, I don't think my asterisk is showing up there. There we go. Make sure my asterisk is showing now.
Is
okay.
the animal that's the symbol of Canada.
Come on.
Animal that's the symbol of Canada. I was immediately thinking of the maple leaf.
It's not an animal.
the fierce animal, the maple leaf. Because it said symbol of Canada. But this is animal? Not killer whale, right? Not chicken. It's beaver or grizzly bear. I don't remember a beaver. I'm going to go with the bear. Darn it. Beaver. Was it beaver? It was beaver.
Beaver.
Dang it. I probably had seen that at some point or another.
I'm sure you have.
It just did not register with me. Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. My percentage is slowly but surely going down. I went on like a 10 question streak, and that had to end. I'm like on a 3 question losing streak right now.
So what's your percentage?
It's fine. It's fine. I'm happy with, honestly, I'm doing so much better than I ever hoped. I am happy. The plant, which is a symbol of Canada.
Hey,
maple leaf.
he just
Get
said
outta
that
here.
one, yeah.
Done. Bam.
Yeah,
Moving
yeah.
on. Canada.
Okay, so Canada, the next question, Canada became a country in what year? I already answered this. It was 1867. And there, of course I'm correct. Because I was correct about everything. I don't have 97%. Chinese is not a language. It's Mandarin or Cantonese.
Became a country in the year...
Let's see if you know this.
Why do you do this? There was a war of 1812. Therefore, Canada existed before 1867.
No, it didn't.
I feel like 1667 feels right. Canada is just a baby among nations? Does that mean it's the bigger one? Oh. Am I getting that right? War of 1812? Isn't that a thing?
Yeah.
Was Canada not technically Canada at that point?
It wasn't a country. We were a British
that's what
colony.
It must be. That's what it is. Darn it. I thought I was being smart there. Instead, I was just being a sucker. Used my own logic against me. This quiz will do that. This quiz will make you into your own worst enemy, is what I've found out. Really in the trenches here.
So this next question, I see up on his screen, it's now up on mine. The Canadian city with the lowest annual snowfall, it's Victoria. They actually have a lot of rainfall. I don't know if they have the highest rainfall, but I think they are. They don't have a lot of snow in Victoria. Victoria's a city on Vancouver Island on the west coast, just because of where they are on an island, and just the way the actual weather systems, they don't get a lot of snow. So check. So that brought me up to 98%. I'm still going to put that with an asterisk there, because I can't say this enough. Chinese is not a language. So let's see if he gets this.
Canadian city with the lowest annual snowfall is. Lowest snowfall would be something very south, right? Is that vaguely correct? I don't know where Regina and Victoria are, so I have to go with Toronto. Darn it. Regina. How did I randomly pick it the last? I randomly chose Victoria last. I don't know where Victoria is. I'm sorry. Haven't
It's
done
on the
a
West
video
Coast.
on that at any point.
It's a beautiful
but
city, apparently. I haven't
not
been
too
there.
much. The lowest annual snowfall. Sounds good to me. Sounds like a good place.
So, the next question. Terry Fox is a Canadian hero because he tried to run across Canada to raise money for cancer research after losing his leg to the disease. Yes. He scored the goal. No. They gave Canada... Nope. He was the first Prime Minister of Canada. No, that was Sir John A. Macdonald. Ooh. Action figure. Yes. There's Canadian Prime Minister action figures. I bet you didn't know that, Tyler. Anyways, that's him up there. He was the first Canadian Prime Minister, not Terry Fox. It was 19... I want to say 81, the Marathon of Hope when he ran across. Anyways, there we go. And that is right. Oops, it didn't take my answer there. So I have to hit check. And it says I'm right. Still 98%, really 100 because of that. Them not knowing it. University of Victoria, which is interesting. Victoria is in British Columbia, and they have the largest population of, I think, Asian people, maybe per capita in Canada. You'd think somebody there would know that Chinese is not a language.
Terry Fox is a Canadian hero.
I'm kind of bitter about that.
Because Terry Fox?
I'm bitter about that.
I don't know Terry Fox. Terry Fox? He tried to run across Canada to raise money for cancer research after losing his leg to the disease. That actually sounds familiar. That actually sounds like a thing. He scored the goal which gave Canada the gold medal in hockey in the last Olympics. No idea. He was the first Prime Minister of Canada. No idea. Could very well be. I've heard of the cancer research, but that could have been someone else. But here we go. It was Terry Fox.
It was.
Let's go. Okay.
Okay, the next question. Now this is interesting. The maximum distance from the most eastern point in Canada to the most western point in the country is approximately. So let me try to figure this out. This one will be a pure guess. I know it's not 3,500, and I'm torn between these two. I know because I have traveled to Calgary flying before. I was going to actually drive, and it would take exactly 2 days pretty much from my house to where I was going in Calgary. Averaging, under 100 kilometers, let's say 100 kilometers an hour, 48 hours be 4,800 kilometers. I'm not the farthest east, I'm close to it, and Calgary is not quite the farthest west. So 4,800, 700 kilometers, is there 700 kilometers extra, or is there more than that? So I'm torn between these two. $700 kilometers. I'm going to go 7,500. No, that's another 2,000. That's a long distance. 2,000 kilometers? No, it's 5,500. Okay, let's go 5,500. Let's check. 2 out of 4. Okay, 7,500. Wow. There we go. So I'm going to take down that asterisk now. I'm still thinking I'm out of the 23 questions, I got 22 right. So it says I'm at 97. I'm gonna adjust it. I do admit I got this wrong, so I'm not at 100. But Chinese is not a language. Do I have to say it again?
The maximum distance from the most eastern point of Canada to the most western point of Canada is approximately, oh no, it's probably approximately the same distance as the United States. But I don't know how wide the United
No,
States is.
where I blew it
No
was
one's got time
the eastern
to
part is
look that up.
way up north,
Oh, jeez.
and
And
some
we're
of those
talking in kilometers
islands.
too. This was failure from the beginning. I don't know what a kilometer is. All right, I know what a kilometer is. But no. All right, we just have to use the spirit of Canada be with me. 7,500. Yes!
Lucky guess, you got it. I'll give it to him.
Canada. Canada's on my side today. The spirit is with me. Okay. I knew it all along. Don't let anyone tell you different. Canada's largest trading.
Canada's largest trading partner is the United States, and we're also their largest trading partner, I believe. Check. Yes. It's still saying 97. I'm gonna put an asterisk, but it's closer. So I have 23 out of 30 right.
Partner is the United States. Of course.
Yeah.
Best buddies. This I did learn. I learned that specifically from a video. That is awesome. 90% of the population in Canada is concentrated within approximately blank kilometers of the US border. Well,
Okay. I'm thinking it's more than 100 miles. I think it's like 150 miles. So I'm going to say 260. Yeah, 260. Let's go. It's one of those two. It's not 60, so. Oh, 1 out of 3, so that's not right. So it's 160. I was thinking it was 150 miles. So it must be, because it's 1.6 kilometers in a mile. So I was thinking, oh, that's only 100 miles. Okay. So I got 2 wrong. Two wrong. He's gotten 4.
this is a nut. Wow, it's starting to all come together. These are things I've actually listened to before. Things I've looked up. Wow, this is kind of beautiful. These are all starting to relate to a different video. It's wonderful. It's very, very, very close to the border. 60 kilometers, I'm going to say. Darn it, 160. Okay. 60 was too ambitious. 160. Fair enough, fair enough. Okay, I'll take that. I'll take it. Wayne Gretzky is Canada and the world's greatest.
Okay. He already knew this one. He said earlier, a hockey player. If he played for the Toronto Maple Leafs, even though I'm a fan, I'd say maybe he would, especially in the 90s, he might have been the greatest golfer because they did a lot of golfing. They ended the hockey season early just to do, well, not going to the playoffs. They got a lot of golf in. So a hockey player. He knows this. I know he knows it. So it's saying I have 96%. I'm still going to leave that asterisk there. I've gotten 2 wrong. And so 96% with an asterisk. He hasn't updated his score in a while, so I don't know what he's actually at. I can't quite see.
Ballet dancer. No. Hockey player. I do know that. For some reason, Americans just are aware of Wayne Gretzky.
Okay, let's go to the next question. The next question, the province of what held a vote to decide if it wanted to separate from Canada and become an independent country? That would be Quebec. Believe it or not, Nova Scotia, which is not listed here, where they were the first province to ever actually consider separating from Canada after Confederation, because they kind of got a bum deal. In the end, in the long term, it worked out good for them, but at the time, they went from being a really important center of commerce and very lucrative to supporting Ontario and Quebec, which were still developing a lot of their infrastructure, and a lot of them didn't feel it was a good deal. Interesting enough, Nova Scotia was actually almost the 14th colony. Not almost, but there was some consideration about inviting them to the Continental Congress. So it's possible that they could have be actually part of the United States. Just the populace at the time was just very too loyal to British, and they depended too much their economy on the British Navy at that point. So they kind of the reason they stayed away, and still were very loyalist British. In fact, a lot of the loyalists, they wound up coming to Nova Scotia, which at that time also included New Brunswick. So
I don't know why. I don't follow hockey, but I know Wayne Gretzky. He must have been that freaking good.
He
at
was
hockey,
that good.
that even I know him.
I skipped ahead.
I don't know anything else about hockey. The province of blank has twice held a vote to decide if we wanted to separate from Canada and become an independent country. So a province that voted to see if they wanted to separate from Canada. The only thing that would make sense to me would be Quebec, because of the extreme different cultural differences. In the language, it just makes sense that Quebec would be the answer. There you go. Okay, and it brought me back to 80%. Needed that. I don't know if it's possible at this point to get back to 90%, but if I can stay above 80, I'll be happy. The people of Canada are mostly of blank origin, around 68% of the population.
Now, this is a loaded question, depending who you're talking about and what they consider themselves. The answer is British, referring to all the British Isles, because out of that British, actually, I think the majority, at least in Eastern Canada, particularly in the Atlantic Canada, would be Irish and Scottish. Not as much from England, but British is the answer. And I'm very proud of the fact. So but I'm proud of the fact I'm actually Scottish and Irish. If you watch my genealogy channels, in fact, I'll put a link to the video up there so you can check that out, where I go over my ethnic origins and let you know how British and how Scottish I am. At least I'll put one of the videos there.
Oh, no. British? It's British or French. I mean, I don't even know how closely related Quebec and France are, to be honest. British. I have to go with British. Yes! Yes!
You'd probably find similar thing to the
Sorry,
States.
didn't mean to get too excited there, but that made sense to me.
Maybe not as
I
high
know
a percentage.
How related they are to the British Empire, to Great Britain, still to this day. Okay, very good. We're almost out of here. Put a check beside each of the following places, which are provinces of Canada. This
I completed 28 of 30. Which are the provinces? Montreal is a city. Quebec is a province. British Columbia is a province. Saskatoon is a province. Yukon's a territory. Manitoba is a province. Newfoundland's a province. And Ontario is a province. I'm going to hit check right now. And wait. 8 of 9. That's wrong. All those 1, 2, 3. Montreal isn't. Saskatoon. Sorry. That was a reading too fast. Saskatoon's a city, yeah. There we go. 9 of 9. So 96%. Still, with the asterisks, I'm going to cut that wrong. So that's 3 questions I actually got wrong. Let's see.
This question is designed to make me look like a moron. This is just made to make me look dumb.
It made me look dumb because I read it too fast.
Some of these are going to be cities, I bet. Dang it. And I've looked at some of these too.
Saskatchewan.
Provinces.
I know.
Quebec. British Columbia. Is Yukon... Are any of these territory? That would just be cruel. Manitoba. Newfoundland.
It's technically
Then we get to
Newfoundland and
these
Labrador.
ones, which, for some reason, since I started this channel, the names of Montreal, Toronto, Ontario. Actually, Ontario is a province, now that I say it out loud. These names just sound like cities to me, even though they might be provinces. And some of the provinces sound like cities. And even after looking at them, my brain can't get it straight from memorization. Yukon. Yukon could be one. Saskatoon could be something. Montreal. Toronto. No. Okay. Oh!
He did better than me in this one. That's because my stupid fast reading.
I died.
But I'm still going to say I got it wrong. It's an error.
9 out of 9. 9 for 9. I got all of them correct. Wow.
So there's one more question, is there?
That is by far my biggest achievement during this quiz and possibly on the entire channel, is getting that question correct. That would have... If my life was on the line not too long ago, I would not have been able to answer that. This was my best effort. I was starting to sweat, but it was worth it. Okay, moving on. Okay. It's a win in my book. Doesn't matter what happens now. Here we go. The 30th question. This was a marathon. Put a check beside each of the following celebrities who are Canadian.
Okay. From watching his screen, I think all of these are. There is no one all of the above. So let's go. Ryan Gosling, yes. Ryan Reynolds, also Canadian. Justin Bieber, unfortunately, yes. Rick Nash, of course. World's greatest hockey player, Wayne Gretzky. We already talked about that. Keanu Reeves. I'm going to say yes. I think he is. He wasn't born in Canada, but he considers himself Canadian. Celine Dion, yes. Shania Twain, yes. Jazz pianist Diana Krall, yes. Masters golf champion Mike Weir, yes. Pamela Anderson is. Avril Lavigne, yes. New pop star, she's an old pop star. Even if this was made right after 2015, which referred to some questions. I think she'd been around a long time by then. Mike Myers, yes. Jim Carrey, yes. Neil Young, unfortunately, yes. Formula One winning driver Jacques Villeneuve, yes. In fact, I'll post a video up there on one of my shorts I have about his father, Gilles Villeneuve. So we're going to check this, and 15015, it says 96%. Remember, there is an asterisk there. So let's see how he does. They should have had an all of the above, but I guess because this thing would also want you to check that, it's a little discouraging. So yeah, it's all of them. So let's see how he does. I'll say he'll probably miss 2 or 3 of them right off bat.
I even did a video on this once. It didn't cover every Canadian, but some of these I know. Canadian celebrities. Why does this have to be the 30th question? Oh no. Ryan Gosling, yes. Justin Bieber, yes. Rick Nash, basketball, probably not. Wayne Gretzky, it's gotta be, right? Keanu Reeves, yes. Celine Dion. Oh no. I don't know. Shania Twain, I don't know. Diana Krall, I don't know. Jazz pianist, I don't... Golf champion, no. Pamela Anderson? Really? Avril Lavigne, I think she is, actually. I randomly know that. Jim Carrey is, isn't he? Mike Myers, I feel like he could be from Scotland, because he did Shrek. But he did Austin Powers, who is British. Oh no, I gotta put Mike Myers. Neil Young? I don't know. Jacques Villeneuve? Oh, I don't know. No idea. So I couldn't. This is 7 out of 15. I think I got that as wrong as you can. I got it as wrong as you can possibly get it almost. I should just invert everything. I don't know. Do this. That's one. Okay. Neil Young. Yep, that's another. Pamela Anderson? That's another? Mike Weir? Is another? Diana Kroll? That's another. Wow, I did get every single one wrong. Shania Twain? That's another. Wait. Are they all? That's just cruel. That's just wrong. Are they all Canadian? What kind of sick, twisted person made this question? And then didn't put... Of course, in this one, they didn't put all of the above. Is that really the answer? Hey, I got 80%. Okay, we're fine. You know what? Whatever.
So, according to their weird math that they do this, he got 80% to my 96%. But really, I think he has to give himself credit. He did a lot better. He got, I think it's 25 out of 30. So, again, I'm not good at math, so what I'm going to do is he got 25 out of 30. So he got 83%. I think if I'm counting that right, I think he got 5 wrong. And I got 3 wrong. So 27 divided by 30, because I'm not counting the Chinese one. 90%. So yeah, you know, I think just because of the weird scoring system, it didn't help him. It helped me better. But yeah, it's yeah. So that's it. So let's just finish up and see what he says and see what he thinks about how he did.
Don't care. 80%. I've completed the exercise. What happens when you click OK? Oh, that's it. You just get stuck here forever. Oh, okay. Show all questions. Yeah. This was fun. This was good. I feel like part of me wanted to take this quiz, and then I assumed I was going to do so bad that maybe I'd take it again in like a year or something to see how good I do. But I got 20 out of 30 right. I don't know how that makes 80%. That's like 66%, but whatever. I'm not going to think about that. 80%? Yeah, great. 80%. Perfect.
Well, you got 20.
But I did enjoy this. And I did a lot better than I thought.
I don't think
I
I
don't
got
know
10
what
wrong.
y'all watching, how you think I did, or if this came across as something that a 6-year-old in Canada would have aced and got a 100% correct. If like a 5-year-old in Canada could do this, and I'm celebrating 20 out of 30. But hey, I mean it. I did good for me.
You did do good.
Shocking amount
really
of these
good,
questions were very relevant to what I've been looking at on YouTube the past few weeks. So that was actually very fun to have that happen. That was nice. That really made everything come together. So enjoyable. Anyway.
Yeah, so he did pretty good. I think overall he did good. You know, I got tripped up on the measurements and just reading too fast and reading the word Saskatchewan when it said Saskatoon. That's, you know, as much as I hate it, you know, I'll take the loss on that question. But yeah, not the Chinese one because it's wrong. Because Chinese is not a language. I don't care what anybody says, it's not a language. So if you want to see more content from an old cantankerous Canadian like myself, just like this video, subscribe, leave a comment on what type of things you'd like to see me do. If there's other videos you want to see me react to. Thank you and have a great day. Good day.